I'm Glenn Campbell in Tallinn, Estonia, with a very brief introduction to my big demographic doom project. This is my personal exploration of demography, or the structure of human populations. At first, demography may seem like the dullest topic on the planet, but it may actually be the most important. And the problems may not be what you think they are. You may be worried about overpopulation or too many people on the planet, when the opposite may be true. Underpopulation in an aging society could be far greater threats. Things are collapsing fast, and I want to tell you how and why. Basically, I'm looking at three things. I'm looking at a financial collapse coming in the very near term. The next recession is going to be a doozy. The second point is that even when we get through this big collapse, we're still going to have demographic problems in that, number one, the developed world does not have enough babies. In the countries like Estonia here, there aren't enough babies being born to even begin to refresh the population. We're also not producing the right kind of babies. The wrong people are having children. So I'm going to talk about what population quality is and why things are going bad on the long run, apart from any financial collapse. And finally, I'm going to talk about some utopian solutions. Let's say 50 years in the future. What are we going to do? What is humanity going to do to survive? It's not going to be done by governments. Governments will be rendered ineffective by the coming collapse. So it has to be done by individuals and groups of people who gather together to decide, we want to raise children, we want to raise them well, and we want to raise enough of them to sustain our way of life, to sustain what we think is important in the world. So this big project is centered on a website, demographicdoom.com. I want to give you a little tour of the website. The website branches out into all sorts of forms of social media. So I'm doing videos, I'm doing Instagram, Twitter, and I'm working on a manuscript. I spend most of my time on videos like this one that are recorded wherever I happen to be. The videos are roughly divided into short videos of under 10 minutes and longer videos of over 10 minutes, which cover more complex subjects. Something else I'm doing on YouTube is indexing other people's videos. So as I cruise through YouTube and find interesting videos that are touch on subjects that interest me in demography, I index them by placing them in playlists, video playlists on my main Demographic Doom video account, which are indexed back on the website. I also have a very active Instagram account. If I stumble upon anything visual that I want to preserve, I'm going to throw it into the Instagram account. And this includes graphs and charts that are kind of interesting, and it includes excerpts from other people's videos. For example, if I watch a 60-minute video by some academic on some demographic subject, and I find he has an interesting soundbite of 20 seconds or so, I'm going to grab that soundbite and throw it into the Instagram account so that you don't have to wade through the whole 60-minute lecture. So Instagram is also indexed by hashtags. For example, you want to see all my Instagram posts on Japan. Well, there's a hashtag for that, and the hashtags are listed back on the website. I'm also collecting print references, and the print references go into a big reference structure, which I call the structured reference page. This has turned out to be a lot more work than I expected, so I may rely solely on Twitter in the future, where I find an interesting reference, I put it on Twitter, and I give it a series of hashtags. For example, a hashtag for Japan, so you can search Twitter for a certain hashtag and find all of the print references on Japan. Again, these hashtags are going to be indexed back on my Demographic Doom website. And finally, I'm working on a manuscript. You can read what I have already. It's a manuscript in progress. I've written it and rewritten it several times. I got up to about 125 pages and decided I needed to start over. And the challenge of a manuscript is that people are going to read it like 5 years from now. like after the collapse has already started. And how do I write a book now for a future audience that may be dealing with an entirely different situation than what I'm seeing right now? So in fact, let's just flick the manuscript aside and put in something else that I forgot about, which is the glossary, a very important part of my website that I call the Glossary of Doom. This is basically a big dictionary where I define important demographic terms, both terms that are generally accepted and terms that I have made up myself. There's great power in inventing words for things because then you've got a handle on what the concept is. And since this is my project and my website, I can invent terms willy-nilly. So I hope you will cruise through my big project. It's growing bigger every day. I hope you will find things interesting here. I hope you will give me some feedback. You can comment on the videos themselves. You can comment on the Instagram posts, and you can send me an email if you think if you want to give me encouragement or you think I'm going in the wrong direction. So I'm freezing my ass off here in Tallinn, Estonia, and I need to get back to my hostel and edit this and throw it up on YouTube and move on from there. Woo. I've been to the top of that church. That's St. Olaf's Church up there. There's a walkway up at the very top. There's a walkway where you can look down on Tallinn. I'm not going to go there today because it's frickin' cold.